Om Shanti. Good morning, Diamond Morning. Baba's Murli. Today is the 8th of June 2022. In the essence, Baba says, sweet children, in order to be saved from performing sinful actions, practice being bodiless again and again. It is this practice that will make you into conquerors of Maya and enable your yoga to remain constantly connected. Question: which aspect of faith should be so firm that your yoga does not break? Answer: we were pure in the golden and silver ages, and we became impure during the copper and iron ages. We now have to become pure once again. If this faith is firm, your yoga will not break. Maya will not defeat you. And the song of Baba's Murli. The rain of knowledge is for those who are with the beloved. Om Shanti. You sweetest children have understood the meaning of this song. It is not a question of this physical rain that applies to the ocean and the rivers, whereas this is the ocean of knowledge. When he comes and showers the rain of knowledge, the darkness of ignorance is removed. Who is able to understand this? Those who consider themselves to be Prajapita Brahma Kumars or Kumaris. You children understand that Shiva is your father. That is, he is the grandfather of all the Brahma Kumars and Kumaris, and he is incorporeal. Since you have the faith, you are Prajapita Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. You should not forget this. All the children are with the beloved, not only you. They all listen to the Murli. The shower of knowledge is only for the children. It is this knowledge with which the immense darkness is removed. You children were in immense darkness, and that you have now received light. You're coming to know everything. You know the biography of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. Those who do not know the biography of Shiv Baba, raise your hands. Everyone knows the life story of God, not only of this birth. Do you know how many births there are in Shiva's biography? Do you know what part Shiv Baba has in this drama? So do you know how many births there are in Shiv Baba's biography? Do you know what part Shiv Baba has in this drama? You know him and his biography from the beginning through the middle to the end. I definitely have to give the return of the faith with which people perform devotion on the path of devotion. Those images do not exist in the living form now. I alone grant visions. You understand that devotion continues for half the cycle, and your desires of devotion are now finished. You have now become the children, so you will definitely receive the inheritance. A father gives an inheritance to his children. This is a law. Your faces are now turned towards salvation. You know about the incorporeal world, the subtle region, and the corporeal region, and who the main actor of this unlimited drama is. He is the creator, then the director, and Karan Karavanhar. He gives directions and he also teaches. He says, I have come to teach you Raja Yoga. This is action. and I also inspire others to act. For half the cycle, you have been performing wrong actions under the influence of Maya. This is a play about victory and defeat. Maya makes you perform wrong actions. How could someone who makes you perform wrong actions be called God? God says, I am the only one who teaches everyone how to perform true actions. It is now the time of settlement for everyone. Everyone has to be awakened from what do we have to be awakened? Sometimes he says from the sleep. Today he's saying from the grave. Everyone is buried in the graveyard. The Father comes and awakens everyone. Death is just ahead. Shiv Baba explains everything to us through the body of Brahma. You now know the biography of everyone, including that of Shiva, of Shiv Baba. So you are elevated. Those who do not know anything bow their heads in front of those who recite the scriptures. You must not bow your heads. This is a very easy thing. You children understand, you will become residents of the incorporeal world, the land of peace, and then you will go to the land of happiness. You are now Prajapita Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. You are the grandchildren of Shiv Baba. By remembering Shiv Baba, you will receive the inheritance of happiness. You children have this faith. And what faith do we have? We were pure. We became impure. And we have to become pure once again. If there isn't this faith, you will not be able to have yoga and you will not receive a good status. A pure life is good. There is great regard for Kumaris because you Kumaris do a great deal of service at this time. You remain pure. The purity of this time is worshipped on the path of devotion. This world is very dirty. There is a story of Kichak. This is a valiant from the Mahabharata. People who come into very dirty thoughts are called Kichak. This is why Baba says, be very careful. This is a very dirty world of thorns. You should have the great happiness that you will go to the land of peace and then to the land of happiness. We were the masters of the land of happiness, and we then went around the cycle. You should have this faith. You mustn't instill in yourselves the habit of becoming. You must instill, in yourselves the habit of becoming bodiless. Let's experience this, instilling the habit of becoming bodiless. Otherwise, Maya will eat you up. Your yoga will break, and your sins will not be absolved. All these are consequences if we do not become bodiless. You should make so much effort to stay in remembrance. You will only become ever healthy by remembering Baba. Become bodiless as much as possible and remember the Father. The Father of us souls, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul is teaching us. He teaches us cycle after cycle and gives us our fortune of the kingdom. You are establishing your kingdom with the power of yoga. A king rules a kingdom, and his army fights for his kingdom, whereas you here are making effort for yourselves, not for the Father. Baba says, I don't rule the kingdom. I show you the way to claim the kingdom. All of you are in your stage of retirement. It is the time of death for everyone. There is no question of young or old. Don't think that a young child will receive an inheritance from his father. This world will no longer exist for them to claim an inheritance. People are in immense darkness. They have a desire to earn a lot of money because they think that their grandchildren will be able to use it. However, that desire will not be fulfilled for any of them. Everything will turn to dust. This world itself will be destroyed. Everything will be destroyed by just one bomb being dropped. There will be no one to save anyone. Gold mines, etc., have now become completely empty. They will all become full again in the new world. Everything in the new world will be new. The cycle of the drama is now being completed, and it will start once again. Enlightenment has now come. It is also said that when the sun of knowledge rises, the darkness of ignorance is dispelled. It is not a question of that sun. People offer water to the sun, although it is the sun that enables water to spread over the entire world. They offer water to the sun because when the sun evaporates the water, it condenses and then it falls like rain again. So we're saying that it is the sun that enables water to spread over the entire world. They offer water to the sun. It is a wonder of devotion. Then they say, salutations to the sun, deity, salutations to the moon, deity. How can they be deities? People here change from devils into deities. They cannot be called deities. They are the sun, the moon, and the stars. People hoist a flag that has an image of the sun. When they do this Suraj Narayan Katha, they do this hoisting of the flag with the image of the sun. In Japan, they speak of the Sun dynasty, but in fact, everyone belongs to the dynasty of the Sun of knowledge, even though they do not have knowledge. There is such a difference between the Sun of knowledge and that sun. They create inventions of science here, but in spite of that, what is the result? Nothing at all. Destruction will definitely take place. Sensible ones will understand. I would say sensible ones understand. They will destroy themselves with science. Theirs is science and yours is silence. They bring about destruction with science and you establish heaven with silence. This is hell and everyone's boat has sunk. On that side, there are those armies, and you are an army on this side with the power of yoga. You salvage them. You have such a great responsibility. And so you should become complete helpers. You have such a great responsibility. You should become complete helpers. This old world is going to be destroyed. You have now understood the drama. It is now the time of the confluence. The Father has come to take our boats across. You understand that when the kingdom is fully established, destruction will take place. However, rehearsals will take place in between. Many wars are taking place. This is a dirty world. You understand Baba will send us to the beautiful world. We have to shed these old costumes and put on new costumes. The Father gives a guarantee. And what's the guarantee he gives us? I take you all back home, cycle after cycle. This is why my name is the death of all deaths. I am also known as the purifier, the merciful one. You understand you are making effort to go to heaven by following Srimad. Baba says, if you remember me, I will send you to heaven. But as well as that, you also have to earn your livelihood. No one can stay without performing actions. It is not possible to renounce action. having a bath, etc., is also performing action. Everyone will receive the full knowledge by the end. They will understand that when they say Shiv Baba is teaching them, that is right. Incorporeal God speaks. God is only one. This is why Baba continues to say, what he continues to say? Ask everyone what relationship they have with incorporeal Shiva. All are brothers, so surely brothers must have a father. Otherwise, where will they come from? People sing, you are our mother and father. This is the Father's praise. The Father says, I am the one who teaches you. And you then become the masters of the world. Even while sitting here, you have to remember Shiv Baba. You only see the body through those eyes, but you understand with your intellects that Shiv Baba is the one who is teaching us. This Raja Yoga, the reign of knowledge, are for those who are with the Father. It is the Father's task to purify the impure. He is the ocean of knowledge. You children understand? You are the grandchildren of Shiv Baba and the children of Brahma, and that Shiva is Brahma's father. The inheritance is received from Shiv Baba, and he is the one who has to be remembered. You are now to go to the land of Vishnu. You are raising your anchors from here. The boats of the Shudras are standing still, whereas your boats are moving. You will return straight home. You have to leave your old clothes behind. The old clothes will be the old bodies, the old costume. The play is now about to be completed. You have to shed your costumes and return home. Acha, okay, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children. Love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says, Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say, Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence with Dharma points to practice for today. First point, do not perform any wrong actions. Death is just ahead. It is the time of settlement, and you must therefore awaken everyone from the grave. Do the service of becoming pure and making others pure. Second point, do not have any desires in this dirty world. Become the Father's complete helpers in salvaging everyone's sunken boat. And Baba's blessing for today, may you increase all your treasures by experimenting with yoga and become a successful tapasvi. Experiment with yoga using all the treasures you have received from the Father. Your experimentation is to have less expense of the treasures and greater attainments. For instance, time and thoughts are elevated treasures. So, use less thoughts, but let there be greater attainment. Ordinary people achieve success after thinking about something for 2 to 4 minutes, whereas you carry out the task in 1 or 2 seconds. When you have a greater result using less time and fewer thoughts, you will be said to be a successful tapasvi who experiments with yoga. And Baba's slogan for today, by keeping your original and eternal sanskars in your awareness, you will remain unshakable and immovable. Om Shanti. The Murli continues with invaluable elevated versions of Mateshwari Ji. Take us away from the world of thorns to the shade of flowers. So very creatively, Mama is saying these things. This can only be sung to God. When people are very unhappy, they remember God. God, they say like this, God, take us away from this world of thorns to the shade of flowers. This shows that there is definitely such a world. All human beings know this world is now full of thorns. And because of this, people feel unhappy and peaceless, and they remember the world of flowers. So, definitely, there must have been such a world, the sanskars of which are in souls. We know that sorrow and peacelessness are all accounts of our karmic bondages. From kings to beggars, all human beings are totally bound in this way, which is why God Himself says, and what God Himself says, this world is the Iron Age, and it is made up of all karmic bondages. The future world was the Golden Age, and it was called the world of flowers. That world is free from karmic bondage. It was a kingdom of deities who were liberated in life. It doesn't exist now. When we speak of liberation in life, it doesn't mean we are free from our bodies. They didn't have any awareness of their bodies, but whilst being in their bodies, they didn't have any sorrow. This means that there was nothing of karmic bondage there. While taking rebirth or leaving their bodies, they had happiness from the beginning through the middle till the end. So, liberation in life means being karmatit, perfect, whilst being alive. At present, the whole world is bound by the five vices. This means the five vices are present everywhere, and people do not have enough power to conquer these five evil spirits. It is now that God Himself then comes and liberates us from these five vices and enables us to attain the future reward of the deity status. Acha. Okay. Om Shanti. Do have a very powerful day in Baba's remembrance.